Okay, so log base 8 of the fraction 3x cubed over y squared. Okay, if you're asked to expand this, the way that you would expand it, and you can just go term by term or factor by factor. Okay, think of it as each individual base, whether it's a numerical base or a variable base, and just extend it or expand it one by one. So anything that's in the numerator, you're adding. Anything in the denominator, you're subtracting. So if we start with our first base, 3, we get log 8 of 3. And then we move to our next. So this is a positive number. We don't have to write a plus in front of it because it's the first term. But now we go to the next base, an x. So is the x in the base x in the numerator or denominator? It's in the numerator, so it's going to be a plus. Again, that's the multiplication, the product property. Okay? And then we're going to write log base 8 of x cubed. Well, what can I do with this cube? Based on this power property, I can take this cube and I can move it in front. So it becomes 3 log 8 of x. And then we go to our next base, which is y. Is y in the numerator or denominator? In the denominator, so this one's going to be a negative. Start again, you need to, each time you expand, each term is going to be the same log. So log base 8 of, we take our y squared, and again, what can I do with this square? Move it out front, so it becomes this expression. Okay. Does everybody see that relationship? Okay, let's go through another one. Okay, see if you can expand. Again, the instructions for this would be to expand the log. All right, so the ln of 3x squared y all over 2z. Okay, so if you're going to expand this out, all you have to do is go factor by factor, go across the numerator and then go across the denominator. So if we take our first base is a 3, so that starts as ln of 3. It's in the numerator, so there's a positive in front of it, so you don't need to write anything. Okay, the next factor, or the next base is a factor, or a factor with a base of x. So is x in the numerator or denominator? Numerator, so plus ln of x squared, but again, what can we do with that square? We're going to move it out front. So again, does everybody see what I did, where those came from? Okay, then we go to the next factor, base of a, or base of y, so that's a plus. You do need to start with the ln. The log always has to be there for every individual term. There's a log. Okay, so y to the first, which is just ln of y. Now we go to the denominator. So when we look at the denominator, the first base that you have is a 2. Since it's in the denominator, you have a negative. Okay. The log of 2, there's no way to simplify that. And then finally, minus the ln of the final base, which is z. And so this would be your expression. All right, questions about that? All right, I'm going to add the one level of difficulty to this that you're going to see. All right, so did you guys get a solution for this? Okay, so we got log base 2 of 8, and then what? Plus 3 log 2 of x plus log 2 of y. All right, so here's the mistake on this. Okay. Can 8 be expressed in any other form? How can it be expressed? So 8 is equivalent to 2 to the third, right? When you're working with logs, you have to be aware of the base of the log and the base of the number is in the log, because let's see what happens if we express 8 as a 2 cubed. Log base 2 of 2 cubed. And now, we talked about this. This was in the last section, and now we get to see why. Okay, what rule do we have for the power? The power property is, what can we do with this 3? We can bring the 3 out front. Okay, and when you have the log base 2 of the same number as the base, what is that equivalent to? A value of 1, right? So that was one of the properties earlier. So really, what this log base 2 of 8 can be simplified to 3. So your answer would be the following. Okay, so again, does everybody clear on that? Guarantee when you have questions like this on your quizzes and tests that there will be some expressions where they can be rewritten as the base of whatever the log is, which would then allow them to be simplified into just a numerical value. And so again, be aware of that, be conscious of that.